Hello, everyone. So, to the friend of over 20 plus years that needed somewhere to stay last night and called me, hell no. And I'm going to explain to you all why. I'm going to call him Tony, just for namesake. So Tony calls me last night, apparently kicked out again, and he needed somewhere to stay. I straight up told him no. And the first thing out of his mouth was, dang, man, why you tripping? Well, Tony, let me explain to you why I'm tripping. Let's start back to last July when it was your birthday. And I went up and beyond the call of duty, rolled out the red carpet, treated you nice for your birthday. We went out for drinks as a friend would normally do. Knowing that my birthday was just 3 weeks away, when it came time for my birthday, the week of, you manufacture all these reasons why you were going to be busy, which that's all fine and good. But, you know, that's not the first time. That was the last time. Now, for knowing him plus 20 years, Tony, I would say, there's been several times where I may have needed his help with moving. He was always unavailable. Okay, here's the way I see things. If I reach out to one of my friends and I may need help with moving, I understand we're working, we're busy, we have busy schedules, but I plan well in advance. Even if you're unavailable, a true friend will offer some type of help. Like you want help packing, you need boxes, anything. A flat out no or stumbling and, mumbling under your breath doesn't work for me. So back last July, like I said, rolled out the red carpet. We had a great time. We hung out, treated him to breakfast. We just hanging out, having a good time as friends would be. And my birthday came around in August. He made all these excuses why he was going to be unavailable. Okay. Now, back in July during his birthday, something weird that I noticed. He came over. He stayed the weekend, because I didn't want to take him back home. He was without a vehicle again. And I remember getting up that morning and I was getting ready to put some coffee on. And I said, you know what? Let's just go across the street to Waffle House. It's on me. All fine and great. I said, let me go take me a quick shower. I'll be ready to go. We did all that, went to Waffle House. I had a impromptu meeting that just popped out of thin air that he and I both went to. I had a great time. Rest of the day, we had driven down to the casino. I got lucky that night. I'm so glad I went. I got lucky. Well, $1,000 to me is luck, considering I'd already played 100, so I got lucky. And so made it back next morning, blah, 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 same old routine. And when it came time to take him home, packed him up, took him home because I had somewhere else I had to be. And didn't think anything of it. Left there, felt like we had a great weekend. We hung out, we had drinks, we met up with other people, hung out. That following weekend, doing my typical routine, I'm getting up to make some coffee. Mind you, I had just previously bought that large canister of coffee from Sam's Club, and I had probably been in it 4 times. And that following weekend, I got up to make my coffee and I opened up the container. It was less than half full. So apparently during the time I was in there showering, he helped himself and stole my coffee. Now, how petty do you have to be the way you have to steal coffee from a friend? Now, if you needed it and I buy in bulk, I would have happily given him half the coffee. But it's the principle of the thing. So I realized it. And so that following weekend after that, we had talked on the phone a couple of times and he's like, man, I may be up your way. I want you to meet somebody. I said, okay. He bring his little lady. I'm gonna be nice. Has nothing to do with the woman. He bring his lady friend over. We're sitting here talking, having a great time. And she says, well, tell me something about Tony that I don't know I should be made aware of. I said, well, he's sneaky for one thing. And he looked at me and I remember grabbing my coffee cup and I sipped my coffee and said, this is some great coffee. So I played all that in together. He didn't think about it. So my thought is, you got the audacity to steal my coffee. You bring somebody over here, you expect me to give you good praise and knowing that you're not a valued friend. You're only out for yourself. You are a taker. You're never a giver. But I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. So anyway, last night when he called, And I told him flat out, no. Not only did I say no, I said, hell no. When he was like, hey, man, why you tripping? Blah, blah, blah. I said, well, I'll explain it to you. Last July, as usual, I opened my home to you. What did you do? You steal my coffee. Oh, man, no, man. I said, no. We ain't going to even trip over the fact that you stole the coffee. It's the principle of the thing. You could have asked for coffee if you needed a bar of soap, if you needed a toothbrush. I would have happily given it to you. You've come over here several times. You show up empty-handed, and you always have a bag with you as if in case I get drunk, I'm going to stay. Oh, no, you're not getting drunk tonight. And then it took me a while to realize that you didn't have anywhere to go. And I explained that to him last night over the phone. I say, now, those are the times you could have said you was on hard times. But he didn't. Now, let me pull back a couple of years when he was staying with this young lady. And he calls me up one day and told me he was at the extended stay up the street from my job. So apparently she had went to his job on payday. True story. She goes to Tony's job on payday. She takes his check to go deposit the check or do whatever she has to do. And she had a ATM card. Just girlfriend, just somebody that she was, like I say, she was crazy enough to once again allow him to stay there. But she had enough. When she came back to pick him up from work, she had all of his clothes in trash bags, took him and dropped him off at the extended stay and pulled off. So by the time he calls me, I was like, well, man, what you gonna do? He said, well, I got enough, I got the room. I just got paid, blah, blah, whatever. So he paid for the room. I said, I'll come down there and holler at you, man, when I get out of work, because it was en route to going home. And I almost offered to let him come stay for about a week or two, since it was close to his job, because he, at this point, he didn't have nowhere to go. And I knew extended stay was going to be expensive. But this is what I said to him. I get there, we having a conversation. I was like, man, let's not sit in this room and you all down on your luck and all this. So I said, let's go up the street to the bar and have a conversation. So we go to the bar having a conversation. I said, I tell you what, instead of you paying all this money for extended stay, and you're going to probably be here 2 more weeks before you get paid, I tell you what, cancel your extended stay right now. Pay for it tonight. And if you give me half of what they charging you for this next month or 2 weeks, you can stay there. Oh man, why I got to pay you? Well, you got to pay to sleep somewhere. Now see, that is cheap and trifling. You'd rather give this rundown, roach and rat infested extended stay all your money on 4th and Industrial, or I allow you to stay for 2 weeks and I save you a lot of money. Plus you will have food here. Plus, I know you're going to rummage through my alcohol. Oh, that's another story, how he stole my alcohol too. I forgot to tell y'all about that. But he wouldn't do it. So I'm already starting to compile my checklist, because at this time, I was already minimizing my level of friendships based on the fact is, how do I grade them? And yes, you have to grade your friends. I'm not saying I'm the best person in the world, but if you're always trying to take and you never have anything to offer, you, not one time do I remember that we have gone out to where I heard him say, next round's on me. Speaking of him, Tony. And I just started noticing that he's always somewhere begging and, hustling and taking. And, he's that type that will go to any and everybody's funeral because he wants to eat the free food afterwards. He's just that trifling. Yes, that's what he does. And I know that for a fact. So anyway, in the conversation last night, he was like, well, man, I don't have anywhere to go. And I said, well, lucky for you, it's not cold outside. I said, by the way, where's that free car that somebody gave you? You can sleep in that. He said, well, what about if I come over by your way? I'm willing to sleep in the car, but can I shower? No, you can't. He said, damn, man, is that serious? I said, yeah, you stole my coffee. And I said, it's the principle of the thing. He said, well, what if I go buy you some coffee? No, that's not going to get you in the door. I'm sorry. You have really, really, really devalued yourself when it comes to me. I would, I can still consider you a friend, but I don't value it as much because I have managed this friendship 80% over 20. I have helped you out of many tight spots. I've done a lot of things, not pinpointed just on him, but we went into a conversation of how I have viewed several of my friends that I have known 15 plus years. And I guarantee you, if any of them was to get on this camera with me right now, they would say, no, Warren's always on point. I always been able to depend on him and count on him for whatever little reasons. But I can't count on them. And I guess because I got tagged with that guy, well, I know he'll say yes to whatever. So my no's have become stronger. And all I'm saying, people, reevaluate your friendships. I ain't saying you got to cut people loose, but do this. I did this test about 6 months ago. I just stopped calling and texting people just to see who would contact me and see what was going on, see if I was all right. And if I have 15 people in my contacts that I contact regularly, at least once a week or maybe twice a month, I consider that regular because you can't talk to everybody all the time. If there was 15, 3 of them actually called to check on me, or at least called. Hey man, I hadn't heard from you in a while. And I thought that was kind of, so I was explaining that I was doing an experiment for my own, just for myself. And I explained to them the experiment that I was doing about valuing my friendships. And I say the 3 that did contact me and checked on me, you know, they're still in there. But the other ones, you know, you start checking them off. And I want to say that you are not obligated to maintain these friendships, these relationships with your family. You are not obligated. If you don't feel like it benefits you both in any particular type of way, you're not obligated to stay in that relationship/friendship with that person, you know. And once you start eliminating people, you know, it increases your worth because now you have more time. You don't deal with all this mess. You don't deal with all the drama. And speaking of Tony, for all the times that he's been without and been put out, needed somewhere to stay or all these things, I remember helping him. And I'm going to tell you why. On one hand, Tony's a great guy. You know, he is in the church. He does this. He goes to church every Sunday. I think he is a deacon in the church. He's got that going for himself. But I come to realize he uses that to get on people's soft side. So in the midst of drama, he's going to always pull out the God card. And I have nothing against religion. Oh, that's not what I'm saying. But I am really sick and tired of people using that to their advantage. So last night, as soon as he tried to go there, I said, no, we're not taking the religious route. You would not be staying here tonight, next week, next month, because our friendship has been damaged because of the fact that you are a taker. You are not a giver. Just recently, back in November, the last time we physically had a conversation, and I told him I had a situation going on to where I was going to pick up something that I bought. And I was delivering it to someone else. It was going to be a Christmas gift. And it was quite heavy. Oh, man, what day you going? Because I know I'm busy all week. See, first of all, you asked me when, but you're telling me you're already busy. Just say no. See, don't play with me like that. Now, the thing of it is, it's close to the holidays. You're halfway working. I have to go pick up a gift that was kind of heavy, loaded in my truck. I'm willing to come get you, pick you up. We go get the item. We drop it off and I pay you for your services, which you're not doing absolutely nothing. Help me make that make sense, people. But people are always talking about they're broke. Oh, man, I wish I had it. Man, if I had $5, I'd go buy me a 6-pack. Well, you got an opportunity to make 3 times that, but you won't even get up off your sour butt to put in. At most, it was going to be an hour and a half's work. And I would have happily given him $75 just for the trouble because I was going to be in good frame of mind, good spirits. It was holiday season, the whole nine. I would have paid him that much to kind of help him out. Something I probably would ordinarily given him $25 to help me do. So he quickly told me no. So I'm really like, okay, this character just don't understand the way of life. You know, you don't continue to be trifling. You don't continue to be always begging. You don't continue to be always without a car. You don't continue to be always without a job. How could anyone live their lives that way? And now you're in your 60s and you're still doing these same things. Yes, you've allowed yourself to maneuver your way into some of these ladies' homes and these things and that other. The one that put you out at the hotel, yeah, you should have seen that one coming. The very last one, you should have seen that coming. And I got to the point now to where after having that conversation with him last night, and I thought about it, because I was getting ready to go to bed, I sat up and thought about it. And I said, well, he's not the only one that had just reached out to me here recently and needed help. Because we all can use help. And if any of you that are my friends, that's still my friends, that are hearing this or watching this, I am not talking about you. So it has nothing to do with you. It's the trifling ones. Trusted friends is nothing against you, because I do help out, because I know they will help me in a heartbeat. It's about doing for one another. And they believe the same principle. So I got to thinking about all these so-called friends. And I'm so glad that I removed myself from their presence, simply because you tend to give too much of yourself. You ever felt tired, more tired when you help somebody out than the person that you helped out? And then when the person asks you for something, and you go up and you go out of your way to try to help them, excuse me, and they still don't feel like they appreciate it, that I really don't understand how people are. It's just this built-in negativity that they carry. So anyway, Tony, which I'm calling him, he texted me this morning, and he was like, telling me he almost got locked up because he tried to sleep behind the Waffle House. Well, first of all, why are you trying to sleep behind an establishment that's open 24 hours to where cops are known to frequent, because they go in there, take their breaks, and they get their coffee? The reason why he almost got locked up, because he couldn't find his driver's license. But to his defense, he wasn't driving. He was sitting in the car talking on the phone, and he fell asleep. But they can't prove he had driven the car. So he left the car walking. So and he was telling me the story this morning. I was like, on the inside of my head, I'm laughing. So how did you go back and get the car? He had to call his sister to come to his rescue. Once again, same person, a different scenario. Man, if you don't get up off your side behind and get your life together, people are tired of you. People are tired of trying to help you. And that goes to everyone out here that's dealing with these trifling ass friends. Cut them loose. Allow them the space to make their own problems or make their own way. We can't continue to help those that can't help themselves. And I'm not talking about the homeless. I'm not talking about the handicapped. I'm not talking about the blind. None of that. I'm talking about these strong, able-bodied men that can get up and go get it every day just like I can. If you got that kind of mind frame, why can't you? If I'm doing it, why aren't you doing it? That's the way I feel about it, because I don't know. I don't know what happened. I just had this work ethic where I've always worked. From the time I really got my very first serious, mature adult job, I went 1 year without working. But that's only because when I was laid off from one job, I had put aside enough to sustain me for 1 year without going broke. I made a decision to take a break for 1 year out of I'm going to say the last 39 years that I've been employed full time. 1 year off. But to be sitting around here working these little piss ass jobs, and then you quit in 2 months, and then as soon as you get your income tax money, you quit. Now, what kind of sense does that make anyway? You're sitting here waiting on your income tax money. You get that little $3,000-$4,000, whatever it is. You quit your job, knowing you're going to blow that money in 2 weeks. I don't understand how people can do these things. Now, I've been working all my life. Yeah, I have made some shabby investments. I have spent money that I wish made some situations or decisions on situations that I wish I hadn't have made, but you live and you learn. Luckily, I was able to recover. How did I recover? I kept working. I go to my job every day. And I tease people. I quit my job twice last week sitting here. In my mind, I quit. I mentally check out. And how do I do that? Sometimes you don't have to take those office calls. I would intentionally let those office calls go to voicemail, and then I will check them. And then I will find out what that particular person wants, why they're calling, because when you're dealing with clients and contractors, they think the minute they call you, you know exactly what they're talking about. You only working on their project. No, I stopped picking up that phone. I let voicemail catch it. So that by me doing that, I got time to hear the message. I got time to think about what they're talking about. I got time to retrieve the information and call them back. Usually it's within 15, 20 minutes, usually, unless somebody's crazy enough to call me Friday at 3 o'clock and I leave work at 3:30. You ain't gonna hear from me till Monday. I'm sorry, I'm busy. I'm busy checking out. I'm an old vessel, as they say, or an old classic. You know, the old cars, you crank them up in the morning, it's gonna take a little time to get it going. That's how I feel about work. When I sit down and have my coffee, I'm sitting there early, 30 minutes early. No, nobody bothers me until my free time is up. I don't answer any questions before my allotted time. Come back and see me in 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever time is left. You know, because I think that we have to bring some of that peace from home into the office, into the workplace. If you're there early, take your time, just kind of ease into your day. You know, I try not to go into the office rushing. I try not to. But anyway, back to Tony. So he was telling me this whole story about how his sister came up there and to come get the car. She pulls into the Waffle House. And now they're both standing there. 2 cars, 1 driver's license. So explain to me, how did that work? Well, luckily the police was gone, so I was able to get in my car. I said, so you had your sister come all the way up there from, I don't know, 35, 40 miles away to come get you because you couldn't move your car. As soon as she get there, you don't see a police, so you hop in your car and you go one way, she goes the other. Tony, you better believe your sister left there cursing you the heck out, all which way, because that was a dumb decision. First of all, having her come all this way for nothing. Second of all, why did you do that? You know you didn't have a driver's license. And you slept in that car. So what did you expect? What did you expect to happen? And how does it go? If it wasn't for bad luck, you would have no luck at all. I don't think it's bad luck in your case. I think it's just because you don't care. You make piss poor decisions. You don't want to get your life together. And we all have those friends, you know, and I'm directing this to him because the audacity of you to call looking for a place to stay last night and you stole my coffee. That's the principle of the thing. It's not about the fact that I paid $9.82 for a canister of coffee, which, by the way, coffee has just is going up, I just heard. So I need to go get some coffee before I run out. The same thing with that first one I was with, I married. Had the audacity to steal my toilet paper, my tissue. I believe I told you guys that story when I first started this. And I was calling, trying to get back in the good grace and blah, blah, blah. And I told her that I minimized it to the fact that when you moved out, you stole my brand new toilet paper and my tissue because I left the house so you can collect your things. And you knew that I had just brought that stuff in there. So you did that out of spite. And for many years, every time she started back going down memory lane, I would bring it up. And she would say, you still on that about the toilet paper and the tissue? I said, yeah, because you're going to constantly hear that. It's not about the amount of money I spent on it. It's just the fact that you had the nerve to take from somebody that brought you in, that loved you, that cared for you, you know, and did all these things. So I would pinpoint one thing about somebody and I rag the hell out of them about it. Every time they call me, every time they talk to me, I will remind them one way or another. You know, and that's just, you know, it's petty, but I enjoy it. Because I'm going to tell you something. When they leave, when you're married, and that woman decides she don't want to be in it no more, and you've given your all, you finally gave in to everything that society deemed to be the perfect way. And then when they try to circle back, that's when I feel good. You know, now I can tell you no. And then I can tell you why. You know, yes, relationships, we go through them, we split, we get back together, we split, we get back together. But like I've already said, I got a short attention span anyway. So out of sight, out of mind. If I break up with somebody today, yeah, I'm going to miss them. Yeah, I may feel sad about it. Depends on how close we were. But you're gone just that quick. My mind don't retain a lot of stuff. when it comes to that, I'm not going to walk around with 20 years of hurt if anybody was to ask. And I have this one friend that's always asking about her. Man, I don't know. That was 20 plus years ago. I don't know. And I don't care to know. You know, she's been trolling. Yeah, she has trolled. She's trolled some of my pages, which, you know, like I tell her and I tell everybody else, just because you see that I may have a Facebook account or Instagram account or whatever these things are called these days, I don't even post on them. I posted one thing for the first time in a long time on Facebook this past weekend. Only one thing. You know, I get on there for Facebook Marketplace and just things like that because I'm always shopping, looking for a deal, looking for something that I know I can buy and sell real quick. And which I've been pretty successful at doing that, you know, because people know that I take care of my things. So if I bought something, I took my time and effort into making sure it was worth buying, first of all. And but anyway, speaking of Tony, so he managed to get his car. Now he's out there somewhere in the immediate area, just hovering around. And he said, well, what are you doing today when you get off work? I didn't tell him I was off work, by the way. I said, no, I have plans. He's like, oh, I was going to try to stop by. You want to catch up, man? I was going to pick up some beer. I was like, no, I'm good. See, he's thinking I've just told you no, hell no, double hell no, backwards. You think a six pack will get you through the door, so you think you can stay over tonight. You're not staying here tonight, next week, next month. Let's just face it, go somewhere else. You know, he's kind of like now starting to feel like he's that little stray dog that you always see in the neighborhood. Man, go somewhere. Whatever you did, this time to screw it up. You should have learned your lesson the last 4 times. How could you have had all these relationships that all you had to do is move in with your raggedy drawers and the socks with holes in it, and you can't come up from that? I don't understand how men can be so trifling and how these ladies can continue to bring in these men that they know that are trifling. So what does that say about the lady? You know, what are you doing? Are you that lonely, or you just want to say you got a man where you might have a piece of a man, and when you left this morning, he was asleep. When you got home, he was asleep. He's been on that couch all day long, and you're going to work. You know, and especially here in the metro Atlanta area, and to touch on another gentleman that talks about this all the time on his channel, you know, ladies, stop dealing with these, what they call hobosexuals. You know, y'all are bringing these men in during the cold months that he love his way right into your world. And then got the audacity to sneak other women in while you at work. And I happen to know this for myself to be true. These men are bringing their jump offs in your house while you at work, and you're totally unaware of it. You know, and this is why I always say it's good to have open communication, because if I get involved with you and you tell me, well, you dating John or whatever, now we got time to reevaluate where we're going to go in this relationship, how we want to go in this relationship. Okay, if you want to continue, so it's an open relationship. That's what we're talking. An open relationship. I'm not a stranger to that. You know, let's call it what it is. But at this day and age, for me to meet somebody and try to be with them and try to be committed to them, and I don't know them, and I know they're about tricks, I know they're about, you know, the first thing somebody's gonna say that's a serial cheater, he or she is gonna tell you this: you need to let go of your past. You can't put everything on me. They're deflecting because they know that you're on to them. They know that you got this dark side. They know that you're sneaking, you know. So these people will say these things to you to try to get you off their trail. You know, they've been doing these surveys, and I was on Facebook talking about it. He had a post on there that the term work husband and work wife is going through the roof. Everybody seems to have a work spouse that they're romantically or emotionally connected to. So when your spouse, he or she comes home from work and all you do is greet her, hey baby, how was your day? And they frowning up at you and giving you all kind of heck and grief, but you guys seem to be okay. There has not been any argument. Her work spouse touched her button, made her feel good that day. What does she need you for? You know, what does she need you for in that moment? So check into that. You know, go with your first mind. Investigate it or sit down and have a conversation with it. And let's just see if that person's going to be bold enough to be honest with you about what's going on. You know, and even those that are trying to be honest, even those that you can be in agreement to it. Okay, it's an open relationship. Okay, we got this. We're going to work this. How could you put yourself in an open relationship, be with somebody that you don't have to hide anything from, and you're still out here trying to cheat? You know why? Because that person has always been sneaky, whether it's a cheat, a thief, or both. So then you just got to watch these people. They know people that are real shifty, you know, so you have to watch them. And, you know, the old term, it takes one to know one. Well, that's because I know, because it takes one to know one. So be sneaky if you will. And like I always said in the beginning of each relationship, oh, I can love you hard. I can love you with everything I got. But as soon as you disrespect that love, as soon as you don't honor that love, then the situation and the table's gonna turn. Not in a way of mean, not in a way of fighting. That's not what I'm saying. But just that same guy, me, that you've been going around bragging to, how nice he is, how this and how that, how thoughtful, blah, 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 180 degrees, turn. Now you ain't getting nothing. Now you ain't getting nothing. To me, you just taking up space. I'm gonna ride it out. You free to go. Will I be hurt? Yeah, I'll be hurt. But think of all the weight that's lifted when you get yourself out of these crazy situations. So back to what I was saying, find out about their work spouse. Don't be ashamed. Don't be scared to ask them, baby, you got a work spouse? You got a work husband, work wife? But a lot of these men going to work, they got a work husband. So ladies, we need to talk about that too. How to know if your man is tipping on the other side of the fence, you know? And that's why I don't understand women. Why can't y'all can't just ask them or just talk to them? Yeah, a lot of time a man will deny it, but have a mature conversation in your relationship about homosexuality, bisexuality, whatever you want to call it. I think prior to getting into a deep, serious relationship, y'all need to talk about that. Instead of always asking, man, what can he bring to the table? It's not always about the money. He can give you the money all day long, but he's over here doing who knows what, or she's doing who knows what. So are you telling me you don't care as long as you get the bag? Is that what I'm getting here now? So find out what these people are up to. You know, this has gone from Tony, as I called him, with his trifling ways, to relationships. And I'm coming back around towards Tony. That's how he managed to get into a lot of these situations with a lot of these women. And just as fast as they let them in, they put them out. You know, you already got a half a job. She lets you in. Okay. And you base it on the fact that you got your military money and your retirement. That's all fine and good. You know, you get in her house and within 2 months you quit that part-time job that you only work 2 days a week. How are you too busy? Are you tired of a part-time job and you work 2 days a week? A man has to have a purpose. A man has to have a place to go to. You know, you have to have somewhere to go. You have to get up and go to work. That's what men do. And if you're retired, get up and go walk, or get up and go detail your cars. You know, I've always seen, you know, and I think I was modeled after that. I always seen the men with the get up and go. Yeah, I was in the neighborhoods with the drug dealers and the drunks and the winos and all these things. And I don't care how many days my daddy may have came home, sloppy drunk, and passed out as soon as he hit the door. But guess what? He was up next morning going to work. So, you know, I learned to go to work, you know, early age. And it's what I do. Do I get tired and I want to take a day off? Well, I'm off today. Well, I have some other things to take care of, but, you know, as long as I've worked, many years I put in, and as much vacation time that I get now, I feel like I've earned the right to take a day every now and then, or a week. You know, the last time I was off, nobody even knew outside of the people I work with. I don't tell my friends all my business. I may tell one, and that's because I may want to hang out with her and go out. We do some things, but I don't tell people, because as soon as they start finding out your schedule, that you got a whole week off, they're going to start asking you to do all these kind of things. And I did not take time off my job to run your errands. We're not even cool like that. We're not even in a relationship. So handle your business. And stop telling all your friends your business. Because as soon as I tell somebody asks me something, I tell them, man, everybody ain't able. Yeah, you go brag. I ain't bragging, fool. You asked me and I told you. Now, how's that bragging? You know, life ain't perfect. Life, I don't know who has the perfect life. If they're out there, I meet you, tap me on the shoulder, say, I'm that person with the perfect life, because I want to see what that person looks like. You know, it's a struggle for everybody. Am I struggling? Yes. My neighbor struggling? Yes. Are you struggling? Possibly, yes. So I don't consider myself to be better than nobody else just because I've made a way to make things happen. You know, I've been known to be a bit of a hustler from back in the day. It was not drug related, but it was stuff. You know, I always knew somebody that knew somebody, as they say. And I still got that little mentality in there. You know, I would get out here and hustle before I get evicted or before repossession. You know, now I've done it in the past. I've gotten tired of a vehicle. I didn't know, I was young. Hey, come get it. I don't care what you do. Bam. But the first few years when the bill collectors started calling me, and back then they could threaten you, they had me terrified. But once I realized, oh, you can't do nothing to me, and you calling me telling me what you're gonna do, you're gonna come get it. I'll put the key on the seat. But now it's a different situation. It's too many ways to make money to where you can't get that car payment or that auto insurance. It's too many ways. I can walk out this door right now and think of a way to make some money if I had to go out here and hustle and make some money. You got things around you don't use. I had so much stuff that over the years that I had collected, I didn't use. And God was helping me with my garage. And he just happened to inquire about a power tool. Sure, give me $75. Now, that particular power tool, which actually is a pressure washer, I bought it used maybe 5 years ago for $75. 5 years worth of use out of it. I sold it for $75. So I got my money back. So there's ways you could recoup money. There's ways you can get out here and get that light bill paid, or get that car note paid, you know, or get these things taken care of. So let's not, especially men, let's not sit around waiting for that magic moment to drop in your lap. Get up there and get out there and get it. And back to Tony and his trifling ways. The fact that when I had to move the last time and you double back and you gave me all these excuses why you couldn't help. The fact that I had already made up my mind exactly how much I was going to pay him. And I move fast. It's not taking me 2 days. I'm the type of person, when I move, it's one trip. If I tell you I need you for 2 hours, plus payment, plus lunch, plus beer, that's exactly what I meant. It's not going to take all day, because the moment you pull up, everything is packed and ready to go. Because I don't take everything with me. I throw away so much time, throw so much stuff when I move, you know. But Tony didn't seem to understand that, dang, you know, Warren is a good guy. You know, I've known him 20, 25 years. He's always been there, blah, blah, blah. He didn't appreciate it. He used my friendship. And there's like two more that I've got to, they're on the chopping board right now. Because I am not taking this same old trifling BS into my 60s and beyond. You know, you get tired, you know, as they say, no, I'm all the way grown now, so I don't have to deal with that mess. Stop calling me when you need something, especially when I haven't heard from you, or if I reached out and text you, or if I called you, hey, I'm a little busy, man, I'll get back with you. I know people forget, we're old now. But if I've been the one that's reached out the last 3 times, I think at that point, you're not valuing our friendships. You can't think enough of me to say, hey, let me call, check, see what's going on. You never know what that person might be going through, especially when he's been a good friend to you, or she's been a good friend to you. You know, and they always say, yeah, y'all check on your loved one, check on your friends. Well, you know what? Screw that mess. If they ain't checking on you, why should you? Why should I be the only one? I'm done doing that. I've been done doing that. I don't know why I just all of a sudden today I just got on this. Actually, I'm killing time before I get to my appointment, but I'm done doing those things. But anyway, I'm gonna get up. I'm done with all my coffee, my 3 cups. So I'm gonna get up and get out and get some things going. So to everyone, once again, it's Warren. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will talk to you guys again really soon. Have a great Monday and a fabulous day. Please tell me you caught all that.